What's going on, y'all? Let's talk about some propane real quick. I do not like exchanging my propane tanks. I do appreciate that Open Range, the brand, decided to use the 20 gallon or 20 pound, propane tanks. It was a smart decision. I totally get why they did that, and I appreciate it. A lot of fifth wheels have two 30-pound propane tanks with the option of switching to 40s. Those things can be pretty big, pretty hard to haul around. And the founder of Open Range decided, let's put three 20-pounders on there. So the way this is designed, I could put two on this side and I could put a spare on the other side, which the spare right now I've taken out, and I've got the Blackstone over there using the spare. While these two are going for the stove inside as well as the water heater. I'm using the water heater on propane right now because of the warmer summer months. The electric side of the water heater can take a lot of electricity, and with 3 air conditioners now, that can be quite a bit problematic. So let's get back to propane real quick. So I like to refill my tanks, especially like this one right here. I bought that tank outright for, I think, $70 at Tractor Supply. Brand new tank. When they're properly stamped and rated and everything, they're good for, I think, 12 years now. Once they reach that 12-year mark, they have to be recertified. And I learned early on, this actually happened to me. I took a propane can somewhere and did the trade-off, which is the most common thing. You know, go to Walmart, go to Home Depot. A lot of places have this option. And you just swap your can with their can. That tends to be a little bit pricey. A little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And you may still have some propane left in there, and you're going to go do that before you run out completely because it's quite inconvenient to run out. And so a lot of times it might be $17, $18, $19, $20, $22 just to swap the can out and get a full one. Or you can take it somewhere where they can refill the can. I like to go to Tractor Supply. Almost always Tractor Supply has the ability to refill. I've run across a few locations that do not have the option. And then I've ran across one where they were just out of stock. So the way I handle it now is I call that Tractor Supply and I say, hey, do y'all have any propane in stock to refill my cans? Try to use those keywords. Because one, they could be out, and two, they might not have the equipment to actually do it. So that usually gets me the answers to the questions I need. But the place we're staying at now, Tractor Supply is on the other side of the city from where we are. And there's just one. That happened at the last place too. We were staying kind of in the heart of San Antonio, and there weren't any Tractor Supplies that could refill propane inside San Antonio. I wound up having to drive all the way up to Cibolo. If you're familiar with the San Antonio area, Cibolo, it's just a suburb. But when you're hitting stuff rush hour and having to drive past Randolph Air Force Base, that can be pretty problematic. So I ran into the same issue here in South Dakota. I ran into construction traffic, and I literally was gone for 2 hours just trying to get my cans refilled. It cost me $15. I was just refilling one. $15. And the reason that I did that, there's an Ace Hardware nearby where I'm at. And I took these two cans to the Ace Hardware a few days earlier and discovered that at Ace, they're not charging me at this Ace. Because I've not had this problem at other Ace Hardwares. At this Ace Hardware, the young man charged me $19.99 to refill. And I know for a fact I had 13% left in one of these cans. So it came out to $40-something, and I'm like, I've refilled these things from empty before places where it was more like $25 to $30. So, leaves the question, what to do? So yesterday I just needed to refill the one that's connected to the Blackstone. And I spent 2 hours with traffic getting to Tractor Supply to spend $15. My savings was $5. My wasted time was 2 hours. By the time the whole day was over, I'm just thinking, I should have just paid the $5 to have my 2 hours back. You know, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. I get that, but I can see the convenience factor. I'll keep looking for other places that fill propane closer. I like the Tractor Supply. They always treat me good. And I usually love Ace Hardwares, but I don't know. Maybe I'll contact one of these other Aces that it looks like they're a franchise. Find out, are y'all really charging me $19.99 even if I bring it and it's half full already? I don't really care for that. On the topic of propane, I did a video a little over a year and a half ago where I added the sensors to these. They're down there on the bottom. Pretty hard to see, actually. Had to put feet on them. The sensors are about $65 a piece, I think, right now. They do sonar. You tell them what size container you have. You can even use them on the big ones. My Uncle Doug has one on his very large tank that's connected to his farmhouse. Pretty good little sensor. I've had to replace the battery once now. It's got a little watch-size battery on it, but it has been pretty handy. I really appreciate it. If you see the picture, I've got 3, and I don't know what the third is. I've done this before. To clear that out, I've had to remove all of my propane sensors and then resync up to them, and then I'm good for a little bit, and all of a sudden a random third one will just show up again, and I don't understand what's going on with that. But I've appreciated the Mopica sensors. I've heard from some other YouTubers that they started having problems with them and they just gave up on them. I've not reached that point yet. I honestly would like to get one for my extra can that I use, because sometimes I use it for this, sometimes I use it for a fire pit. You know, if my fire pit doesn't light, that's not a big deal. But we rely on the Blackstone. We cook a lot with the Blackstone, so we really need to know if that's going to be out of propane. So that's part of the reason why I took it yesterday. I was like, okay, I think it's about empty, but I'm not really sure, and I don't want to be caught trying to cook supper, and I can't. Of course, I could probably just pull one of these out and then make life blend together. Life blend together? Sometimes just the word salad, I'm sorry, y'all. Really nice weather right now. Really enjoying the weather out here. Tanya's out there doing her art. Animals are out here loving it. Just an update, if you follow us with Kai, we're not sure what's going on with him. He's not really exhibiting anything unusual sick-wise, but his activity level has dropped way down, and his hunger has dropped way down. And we lost our cat Skittle a year ago, so we're all a little scared. His appetite doesn't seem right. His energy level doesn't seem right. But I mean, he's been acting like a kitten ever since we got him in early November last year. And now all of a sudden he's acting more like an adult cat. He is still taking walks with us. When I start cutting up some meat, he does get excited and he comes over to get some. But other than that, he's just kind of laying pretty chill. So not sure what's going on with him. We're a little concerned about the guy. I mean, when we got him fixed, we were told he's in stage 4 kidney failure and he might only live for a few more weeks. So we've always been under the assumption that he probably won't be as with us for 15 years like Skittle was. But if you want to lift up some prayers for Kai, we would appreciate it. He's become a vital part of our family. All right, y'all. Thanks for taking a minute to chat with me about how to fill up propane. What would you do? Would you go and drive for 2 hours in your vehicle to save $5? Or would you just take the convenient route and pay $5 extra? I'd love to know. Let me know down in the comments. All right, I gotta get my Pokemon cards ready. One of the things we like about this area of South Dakota is there's a lot going on with Pokemon here. So Kaylin and I are gonna go have some Pokemon battles over at Izzy's Gym in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. If you're into Pokemon and you come to the east side of South Dakota and want to come see the falls, Izzy's Gym really impressed us when it came to Pokemon cards. They're only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we were absolutely blown away by that place. So we're getting ready so we can go do some battles. Whenever you do official Pokemon battles, they have special little handouts that they have a little 6-pack of cards that have exclusive cards that you can't buy anywhere. You can only get them by actually participating in official Pokemon functions. So cool little thing that we've discovered. Kaylin likes traveling around, going and playing Pokemon battles at different places. It's kind of a fun thing to do. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Remember, life happens. You've been paying $5 for convenience. Don't let that stop you. Stay fresh, cheese bags.